Hey everybody, Jamie Pate here, and welcome to what is becoming our monthly Stop the Blur update. Stop the Blur is the name of a video series that Heidi Swapp produces monthly, plus the name of the subscriber kit that she makes available monthly. And what I do every month on the 15th is share with you the previous month's memory planner pages. And so that's what I'm going to do here today. But first, let me share just kind of quick as an introduction, just some things that as I was working on my pages, I found myself kind of reaching for often. And I always want to kind of point those out because maybe they can be helpful for someone else. Okay, the first thing is the Stop the Blur formula and sketch sheet. You can see this is the one for the last week of April for me. I never put in the color palette, but I have been doing that. And I love it though for kind of a focus. But this has been, I used it much more this last month than I have in previous months. And I'm kind of beholden to it now. I'm super excited. This is free if you are a subscriber to Heidi Swapp's Stop the Blur video series. And it's just part of the downloads, and go grab and whatever week you're working on. I thought too, another little idea for this is and probably even as soon as I'm done with this video, I am going to print 4 of these for May. And as I have ideas or as I see something, as I think of something, I'm going to go ahead and add it to that week. So this has been something I've really been loving this month. Okay. Who knew how badly I was going to need a 5/8 punch? I'm trying to think really quick if I can find really like this little not okay here. It's a stamp from the May Captions, and it's a 5/8 size, and it was perfect. And I've used it multiple times. So I'm loving this little 5/8 circle hole punch. This one is by Dress My Craft, and it's perfect. I don't know why I didn't get this sooner, actually, is really what I'm asking myself. Okay, bone folder. I have a bone folder, and it's been a very super faithful tool that it should be part of my essentials, actually. This is the newest Heidi Swapp bone folder, and I thought when I got it, I already got one, it's kind of no big deal, right? Well, no, I was wrong. This one is really slim and thin, and I love it. I've had to kind of reteach myself, especially on Vellum, not to just go right through the Vellum, but this is a great bone folder. I'm happy to have this as part of my tools. This came in super handy, something I'm loving this month. And last but not least, now I have these scissors that I use quite a bit for my paper cutting. This is WRMK Keepers. I just kind of hear basic scissors. And this one is Heidi's, and it's in the Heidi Swapp shop. Talk about a hefty pair of scissors, and they're for me for all my paper. I keep it exclusively for paper. I don't cut cardboard or chipboard. I don't cut my double-sided adhesive tape. This is paper only. So I have to hide it from my kids. Anyway, those are a couple of things that I have been loving this month. One more thing I've got to add to that mix. And I had my 4x6 stamps in another container previously. And then I realized how many stamp sets I could fit. I don't know. It's going to be more than 30 when I get them all finally organized. But this tall storage container is just perfect. It's from ScrapbookCom, and I'm a fan, and I'm getting ready to order some more. So I might beat you to it if you think this is something that you could use. Yeah, I love having this. Love having how it's graduated. Yeah, very, very, very good. That was a good addition. Okay, let's get to it. All right, so April brought us to a brand new planner. So I am in the Blush planner, and it's set up just like all the other most recent Stop the Blur planners, where it has 3 monthly what do I want to say? 3 monthly spreads in the front. I haven't done April's at all yet. And then it just dives right into the pages, the weekly pages. And so there's enough for 3 months. So this is my intro page, really super heavy. I do this as a sample for Heidi Swapp Shop, so if it looks familiar to you. So it's really super heavy with the April kit, which was awesome. I really, really love this kit for so many reasons, and I use a lot of these elements over and over again. I was loving the arrow stickers. I use a lot of these pockets. This little tea cup is adorable. The stamp set is going to be very, very useful. So that was an intro into April. And then here's the first full week of April. And you can see, and you probably already know this, the top of the color band is really neutral. It's actually a really, really, really soft blush, basically. But as you'll see, this really worked out with a couple of, I think I have 4 different colorways in here, 4 different palettes in here. And so this one is kind of just whatever you want to call this color. If you used the Distress Oxide colors, this would be tea dye, is kind of what this color is. So just to point out a couple things here, this was really fun way to journal with this little hideaway here. It probably just slides in there easier than that. This week, just because I get a lot of questions about this, I kept my photos 2 inches wide, and because I take in a portrait ratio, that makes them 2.67 inches tall. So that's what these photos are here. I use the checklist from the April kit quite a bit. Let's do this as part of those quote pads, which I just keep using and using and using. Every day, fresh start here. This is one of the ledger pads that is not part of a kit. It's an extra purchase. And the April ledger tape was a great way just to kind of fill in some spaces. I use these stickers both for writing notes on as well as stamping on. This floral here is from the April Stop the Blur printable. And I just, hang on, let me show you. I just selected the flowers and I printed a bunch of them out on one page. So I was loving these so much and have used these quite often. You can see I also have it over here. Oops, I just realized I had taken these out to work on the back. I have photos and journal cards that sit inside this pocket. This was a tag I had done before, like in March sometime. And it's just all the stamps from April, from the April Captions kit, just kind of collaged together. And I thought I would make a great pocket. So I popped it here, and it's going to hold those photos and journal cards. And you can see I processed this page out on my Instagram in my reels. So if you want to see how this took place. Now, I forgot also here, I realized I was going through this and getting this already, and I have not put any notes here. This was a grand day because this was the day this grandfather got to meet his granddaughter for the first time. And so I utilized the sticker sheet, the white sticker sheet. It's a trick that Heidi had done in the Stop the Blur video. And I used that as my adhesives, and I had these kind of layered, and this is fun. I'll be doing this again. I had a lot of fun doing that. So this is part of the April kit and one of the ledger circles that makes a great space for journaling. I literally just tucked this in here. I was like, that could have gone there really nicely. We'll see if I need that. But sometimes these pages are just sort of like a work in progress. They don't ever really totally get done. And I will tell you too, I'm going to use this moment. Speaking of that, something I noticed, I went through this formula pretty close to the formula that she shares. And then she has this pick a starting point. And I will tell you, and maybe I should unpack this next month, but I will tell you that I really, because of having this formula, I really did stick to a workflow. And that included things like adding the date of the week and then adding in the day's date. And this is what you do when you make big mistake on your dates. You have to cut out ledger paper and add them in again. And that happens. That was a really big starting point for me, getting my date on there and then dating the days. And then photos. Photos found their home. Not a lot of photos in here, but a couple things to point out. Well, I love that arrow sticker, didn't I? This was just a little way to tuck in some journaling. It's only adhered over here on this side, and then it just kind of tucks in. I've seen that in a lot of junk journals and mini albums. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like how loose that is and how that feels there. Some space filler here was this die cut butterfly that's part of the Heidi Swap Shop. And these envelopes are awesome and make for great spaces for hidden journaling or just extra journaling. This was a tea kind of a day, so I cut out that tea cup again. There are several elements that I cut out again. This is kind of a happy accident here. Because I do like to keep my pages fairly cohesive, I had this photo that did not match this page at all, but it was a fun night out, and I wanted to make sure I had the photo at least part of my memory planner. And so then I took a piece of paper and I attached the little floral piece to it, and then it just tucks right here in the front and looks like the flowers are coming out the envelope. So that was kind of fun. And then I've done this here a couple times, and I kind of made this one too tight. So watch me here as I try to get the photos out of this envelope sleeve, this vellum sleeve rather. So this was fun, and I just added journaling to the back of this photo strip. Again, vellum is a great way to give another soft element. See how, I just made it way too snug. I didn't realize it till I actually had it adhered down. So we're just going to leave that for right now because I don't want to wrinkle my photo. I'll need to rework that a little bit. Happens, guys. It happens. Okay, here I have some kind of quasi-hidden journaling here, and the little hippity hop from the April printable. I had pre-made, again, here's another example of pre-making elements. And I really do love doing this. I had already made this Easter tag like way before I even worked on these pages, and I thought it was a great element to add to my Easter day. And then I also tucked in additional photos just right underneath, and that's kind of how this page again came together. So that takes us to the third week of the month. Now you see how these page colors like this time drastically changed, right? But it just kind of hides in the background, which is super awesome. So I kind of went with the yellow. And again, there's a picture in my stories where I literally just gathered all my yellows, and a lot of you have already collected some of your other kit pieces into color. I desperately need to do that. I just need to stop and take time to do that, because I am noticing more than looking for a specific element to add to my page, I'm looking for a color. And then once I get a color and I just have it all sitting here, it's just like, oh, that works there. Oh, that works here. And it also too helped my workflow this month. So I guess another thing I was loving, so much to love this month. So just to go through each day, this time starting here, and I might just do this for a while. This time I resized my photos to 2 inches tall. So this is a 2-inch space for each day of the week. And the 2-inch photo just fit in there just so much nicer. I don't know. I just kind of like it right now. And maybe I just want to change it up. I don't know. I just kind of do that sometimes. So that's what these photos are. These are 2 inches tall, fit right inside the day. A Cup of Ambition, I went and recolored in the kit. This is pink, and I went and recolored it digitally. This is an old Heidi Classic tag. I had like 2 more tags left, and I ended up finishing them up on these April pages. And so I just, using the bone folder, I just made a nice crease here and was able to put Monday on the front and Tuesday on the back. And then this is part of the printable from April, and a flower that was finally blooming in our yard. Printable from April, another photo. And then this is the Alpha Marquee stamp set that was new in the beginning of May. And so it also hides some photos back behind it, and telling the story there with that really big marquee element. And that's a great way to tell a story. I kind of stole the idea that Heidi had with the kit, and I added in this little journal piece here by just stapling the Hello Sunshine to the outer part of it, so that when it goes in, it just tucks just a little bit over it. So I loved how that worked out. Some washi tape, kind of playing against the washi tape that I had over here. So that was a filler. Be in love with your life, every minute of it. That is part of the brand new May Stamp Society. And this again is one of the ledger tags that are sold separately. And I made a pocket in this older kit piece here by just adding 1/8 inch adhesive to 3 sides. And so now my journaling fits completely. And boy, you talk about a lot of real estate for journaling. This is a great way to do just that. And I didn't mind that I had some photos here. I did a little bit smaller photos and made them square and just printed them together. And I don't mind that my photos are kind of hidden behind that. I like that whole interactive kind of thing. Be Believing Always is also part of the Stamp Society that just came out, and loving these big stamps. And this is the let's think, the Destination Alpha. I use those quite often on my Stop the Blur pages. All right, last week here, and we'll be wrapping this up in April 25 through 30. Just wanted to point out that I did change up this whole, it's always the same. I try to do the same thing in a singular month. So the April, the numbers, and I just wrote in that little slash, is from the April from the Captions set, and then these numbers that are just terrific. These are wonderful numbers. And so that's how I did my dating this time. And so what we have here, this is a tab from the March Stop the Blur kit, and this is from April. There's those destination alphas again. And then I used, I can't think of the name of that. I'll have it listed below, but the finally on top of the 4K, because I got 4K subscribers on my YouTube channel, and yay, thank you guys. That's all because of you. Thank you so much for being here. And that was part of what this was, just a little celebration, because I just think this is such a fun community. You all are just so wonderful and supportive and have great ideas and inspiration. And then I used to do this more often. I try to put an Instagram quote out on the beginning of the week. And so I really liked it because this was National Letter Writing and Card Month, and that had to do with that. So I thought it was a great thing to add to my pages. Again, with the sticker from the April kit, and I stamped it. And my daughter, we are counting down her graduation days. So at this point in time, we were 30 days. And I love those big outline numbers too. I mean, they just make a statement, don't they? And I purposely kind of had it in the middle of the page, that I had the destination alphas, so that everything still kind of felt balanced. And I think I kind of succeeded with that. I cut out this make pretty stuff. I've been dying to use these scissors. And so I took a picture of my YouTube thumbnail and put it in there, because boy, I have just been doing a lot of stuff lately, and I wanted to make note of that. Again, with that little vellum sleeve and then a story underneath there. These were great square journal cards from the March kit in my taco. And this currently is from an older stamp society, but I got back to doing currently. And you don't have to have the stamp set to do currently, but I did currently with the loving and the planning and the starting and the feeling and the watching and the working and the eating and the obsessed. Yeah, I need to be starting to do that way more. Okay, so this page over here, I took this from, I think this was from the April kit, and this is from the April kit, and I used some of the May caption stamps to add in just this little small collage. I wrote some notes here, and this was the last of those tags, of those Heidi Swap classic Heidi tags that I had, and I thought it just worked with this page so well. And I just had some notes that I wanted to put in there, and so that's what that is. I still had one of these. I don't even know what you call this, like an offset little file folder, and it was Heidi's birthday, so I printed a picture of the card that I made for her, and this just pops right in there. I liked how that worked out. Really love these. Here, I use the stuff here, and this is the daily checklist here. I love these for like bullet pointing. And then finishing up here with this arrow too, I liked, again, you've heard me say this a lot, I like to play elements to complement each other and to balance a page. Then the introducing May with the destination alpha again, and some goals and events for May I wrote here. And then also another one of my quote cards there. Never compare your insides to everyone else's outside. So, whoo, that's a lot. I love these pages. Sometimes it's a little small labor of love to get started. And I would love to hear if you feel that way too. Do you feel like sometimes it's like, yes, you want to do it, but you're like, okay, got to kind of psych myself up for it. Well, that's kind of what this was, but it's still always a labor of love. So if you have those same sentiments, I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. And thank you so much for being here for the April Stop the Blur Memory Planner walkthrough. And I will see you in the next video.